And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're almost at 300. So if every one of you shares this with one friend, we're already there, right? So hit subscribe, watch, comment. I like those comments. Keep them coming and share with a friend because the nonsense, I say it all the time, it's not stopping. Now, yesterday, Trump visited the Kennedy Center. Well, why shouldn't he? He's now on top of being president of the United States. He's now in charge of the Kennedy Center. And he didn't have the best experience. Now, he got a minute into his speech to the board when C-SPAN cut the feed. Play the clip.
A lot of money. As you know, we put down some early tariffs on people and countries that were not treating us well. And that's both.
And we're going to be a little different, but I call April 2nd, that's when the tariffs December.
I think that.
Yeah, listen, they were just not going to continue to air the nonsense. Same nonsense, though, that we saw on Friday when J.D. Vance was heavily booed when arriving at the Kennedy Center. Play that clip.
Kill that light!
It's amazing. Amazing. They're only literally like 58 days into the presidency, and that's already the beginning. That's just the first initial reaction. Now I want to show you Trump's response when asked about this incident. Play the clip.
Mr. President, are you surprised by the reaction that the Vice President got here at the Kennedy Center with the other leaders?
I don't know about that. He's the most popular vice president we've had in years. He's doing a great job. I don't know anything about it. I figured you'd ask a question like that.
What's wrong with asking a question like that? I mean, there he is at the Kennedy Center, and you're asked about your vice president getting booed, except for one idiot that was standing there clapping. Why is this an improper question? Because he doesn't like it. Because there is no answer that continues to send praise and to be laudatory to him. Now, after calling out Biden's pardons because of alleged use of an Autopen, Trump was asked if he has ever used an Autopen. Play the clip.
And you'll make your own determination.
You have criticized President Biden for using Autopen in the last few days. Have you yourself ever used Autopen, sir?
Yeah, only for very unimportant papers. And I don't call them unimportant. If you do letters where people write in and, they'd love to have a response, and we'll write responses, and I'll sign them whenever I can. But when I can't, I, would use an Autopen. But to use them for what they've used them for is terrible.
Yes, sir. And
Again, I'm not so sure why he's making a determination. Maybe Joe Biden doesn't like his signature. So one thing you have to acknowledge, Trump has a very distinct, a very unique, and a very interesting signature. So he likes to use it. Okay, I'm all for that. Maybe Joe Biden has sloppy handwriting, and so therefore he likes to use the Autopen. The issue is not an Autopen. The issue is whether or not he authorized it, because the president, just as Donald Trump is president now, has that unique power conferred upon him to provide a pardon any which way that he wants. And it is not questionable. Now, one of the other things, Trump refuses to take questions from NBC. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. You have a legitimate news outlet that's authorized to be there, that they are what's called credentialed, and he just chooses not to take any questions from them. Play the clip.
yes, sir. And when you signed the CR,
Who are you with?
sir, I'm with NBC.
That's the same one. I don't want to talk to NBC anymore. I think you're so discredited.
Why discredited? Because you don't like the question? Get used to it. You see, notice who is at the bottom showing this feed. Newsmax. Sure, we're all friendly with Chris Ruddy, President's CEO. He's a member of Mar-a-Lago. Absolutely, I'll take questions from Newsmax because God forbid that the journalist, the reporter, asks Trump a question that irritates him and it's coming from a Newsmax journalist or reporter. He's shit canned before he even gets back to the office. Now, if you remember last week, Trump spoke at the DOJ and he claimed that the reporting that NBC does is illegal. Not just that he doesn't like it, that it is illegal. He also said that it is illegal to criticize judges. Okay, play that clip.
And Emil know this very well. We had an amazing judge in Florida, and her name is Eileen Cannon, and I didn't know her. I still don't know her. I don't believe I ever spoke to her, even during the trial. But I did appoint her, federal judge, and these fake lawyers, these horrible human beings, were hitting her so hard, public relations-wise. They were playing the ref. I don't think it's legal. I don't think it's legal. They might as well go out and just shout it in a courthouse. They were saying she was slow, she wasn't smart, she was totally biased, she loved Trump. I didn't know her, other than I saw her the couple of days that I was in court, and I thought her decorum was amazing.
Isn't that exactly what the Republicans are doing right now with this judge as an example who's trying to stop the deportations before due process? When you listen to members of Congress like Representative Bichette, who turns around and says exactly the same thing about the judge, but I guess it only applies one way, right? Well, of course. And that's why in comes Karoline Leavitt, where she's asked about the irony of Trump's claims during a briefing yesterday. Play the clip.
Hey, so on Friday, the president suggested at length that it should be illegal to criticize judges, but he has repeatedly criticized judges who rule against him, and Elon Musk is calling for impeachment of judges who have opposed the administration. So how are those two things not in conflict?
I have not heard the president talk about impeaching judges. I know you mentioned Mr. Musk's tweet, but I have not heard the president of the United States ask that. Mary.
Right. See, basically, take your question, shove it up your ass. I'm not answering it. All right. Because she hasn't heard it. How about just turn around and say, all right, let me get back to you on that one. She also, of course, misspoke and said that the DOJ is fighting law and order, which you think about, it's exactly very true. What she obviously meant to say is that the DOJ is going to fight for law and order, but what she said is that the DOJ is fighting law and order. Play the clip.
We want to restore the Department of Justice to an institution that focuses on fighting law and order and crime and putting real criminals behind bars, not targeting Americans because of their religion or their political speech. We saw that under the previous administration, and it's unacceptable to this president. And just to follow.
Right. Again, she meant fighting for law and order. Question becomes, of course, whose law and order? Now, earlier today, I spoke about the deportation drama that's happening. It's going to take place this entire week, if not longer. Karoline Leavitt addressed it as well. But like so many of them, she made jokes and she laughed about it as if this is some sort of a funny incident. Play the clip.
Biden administration abused to facilitate the mass illegal entry of illegal immigrants into our country. It was like a fast pass at Disneyland. That's not happening under this administration. We are encouraging illegal immigrants to actively self-deport to maybe save themselves from being in one of these fun videos. Sure. John, good to see you.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, fun video. Sure. Forget about the Constitution. Forget about due process. We're going to do what we want. And finally, literally to show her delusion, she made another threatening joke about France and World War II. Play that clip.
Something different. There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country. Kelly.
Like I've said so many times in the past, she's actually very good at her job, which is to continue the Trump message. And the only way that we're going to remove people like Karoline Leavitt and so many of these other individuals that just keep spewing the Trump talking points again and again and again, it's to start acting as one. The Democratic Party is desperate to again unite, desperate to go into these towns, go into these town halls, ones where Republicans refuse to because they are getting the same sort of treatment that we saw J.D. Vance and Trump get. We need to take back the House. We need to take back the Senate. And ultimately, we need to take back the White House. Why? So that we can put things back onto a path where our allies respect us, our adversaries fear us, instead of the other way around. And as always, thanks for listening.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.